All right, let's dive right into one of the most powerful conversations ever recorded, the Bhagavad Gita. Now, this isn't just some ancient text gathering dust. It's a living, breathing dialogue that happens, of all places, right on a battlefield, just as this epic war in the Mahabharata is about to kick off.
So just try to imagine this for a second. You're Arjuna, one of the greatest warriors of your time. You're ready for the fight of your life. But then you look out, and across the battlefield, you see them. Your cousins, your mentors, your own family. And suddenly, your weapon feels heavy, your knees go weak, and this one single question just completely paralyzes you. This is the moment, this is the crisis that sparks the entire Gita.
You know Arjuna's problem? It's not just about some long-ago war. It's a question we all bump into, right? What do you do when your duty, what you know you're supposed to do, is in a head-on collision with the people you love? It feels like a total no-win situation, and it's that universal struggle that makes the Gita's wisdom feel so real, even today.
So how does Lord Krishna, who's acting as Arjuna's guide, respond to this utter despair? Well, he doesn't start with a pep talk or battle tactics. No. He goes straight to the very foundation of reality. He addresses the root of Arjuna's pain by explaining what we truly are.
And here it is, the core distinction. Krishna says, look, the physical body, that's temporary. It's perishable. It's not the real you. But the soul, the Atma, that's eternal. It was never born, and it can never, ever die. Just this one idea completely flips the script on what life and death even mean.
And I love this analogy Krishna uses. It's so brilliant. He says that birth and death are basically like changing your clothes. The soul just lets go of a body when it's worn out and picks up a new one. It's that simple. So to grieve for the body is to miss the point entirely because you're focused on the clothes instead of the person wearing them.
Okay, so if the soul is eternal, how are we supposed to live? How should we act in this world? This brings us to a really practical philosophy called karma yoga, the path of action. This is Krishna's direct answer for Arjuna's impossible choice on the battlefield.
Krishna lays it out in 3 really clear steps. First, you've got to figure out what your duty actually is, your unique role in the world, your swadharma. Second, and this is the absolute game changer, you do that duty with everything you've got, but, and this is key, without getting hung up on the outcome. Why? Well, that leads to step 3. You have to deeply understand that the results are never really up to you anyway.
So here's the payoff. By doing your work without being obsessed with the fruits of your labor, you actually break free. You're no longer tangled up in that endless cycle of action and reaction, which is what karma really is. It's the path to real freedom, even while you're right in the thick of life. Now, from this focus on what you need to do, Krishna just zooms the camera way, way out. He completely expands Arjuna's worldview, showing him that this battlefield, this war, it's all just one tiny part of a much bigger divine cosmic dance.
And this is a huge idea. The teaching here is that the divine isn't some old man in the sky separate from us, not at all. It's that everything, and I mean everything you see, touch, and feel is a direct expression of that one supreme reality, called Brahman.
And just to make it crystal clear, Krishna reveals that he himself, as the supreme being, is the origin point, the thing that keeps it all going and the place where it all returns. He's the cause behind every single cause. So, if everything is divine, what's the best way to live? Well, the Gita presents what's called Bhakti Yoga, which is the path of pure, selfless devotion. It's about offering up all your actions, all your thoughts, your entire life really, to that supreme reality with total faith.
But let's be real. To actually walk these paths of selfless action and devotion, you need a very specific tool. And that tool is a calm, stable, balanced mind. But how on earth do we get that when life is just a constant roller coaster? Let's see what the Gita suggests.
Krishna points out that our minds are always getting thrown around by these pairs of opposites, life's dualities. The first big one, of course, is the constant back and forth between pleasure and pain. We're either chasing one or running from the other.
And that same pattern applies to our goals, right? We experience the incredible high of victory and then the crushing low of defeat. Our emotions get completely tied to these external events, which leaves us feeling super unstable.
And of course, in our day-to-day lives, there's the constant anxiety over profit and loss. Krishna's point is that being trapped between these opposites, this constant swinging from one pole to the other, is the actual source of our unhappiness. So what's the way out? It's this beautiful state called equanimity. It's the ability to stay balanced, to stay centered, no matter what life throws at you.
It's an inner peace that doesn't depend on whether things are going good or bad.
So, how do we get this superpower? The Gita gives some pretty practical advice. First, you have to work on controlling that restless mind and your senses, which are always pulling you outward. Because a calm mind is a clear mind. And finally, it suggests seeking out a wise teacher, a guru, to help guide you toward true wisdom.
So, we've gone on this incredible journey, from one man's personal crisis to a vision of the entire cosmos. What's the bottom line? Let's boil this entire profound teaching down to its most essential message.
If you take away nothing else, it's these 4 things. 1. Do your duty, but let go of the results. 2. Remember, you are the eternal soul, not this temporary body. 3. See the divine spark in absolutely everything and everyone. And 4. Surrender to that higher power with your whole heart. That right there is the core of the Gita.
And that leaves us with one final, very personal question. Because the Gita isn't just a story, it's a mirror. So it asks us to look at our own lives, our own challenges, our own personal battlefields and ask, what is the duty that you are being called to perform right now with all your dedication, but without attachment to how it all turns out?